Hello everyone, my name is Arohi and welcome to my channel. So guys, in my today's video, we will see how we can create agents in Igno, and after that we will learn how to use tools. So there are two types of tools, predefined tools and custom tools. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how to use both tools. First, we will learn how to use predefined tools, and after that I'll show you how to create your custom tools, then how to use those tools with the agents. And once we learn about tools, after that we will learn about the concept of memory, because the concept of memory is also very important. Memory helps the agent to remember the previous conversation between the user and the agent. So let's start. So I'm doing my today's tutorial in Google Colab Notebook, and in my drive, I have a folder with the name of Agentic AI Tutorials. Inside this folder, I'm going to work. So right click on more, and then select Google Colab. Once the notebook is open, go to this edit and then notebook setting, and then select this GPU and click on save. Now GPU is selected. Next task is to import the Igno package and all the other packages which are required to run our today's code. So the first package is Igno, because we are going to do coding for Igno framework. So to install Igno, you will write pip install. U means upgrade. This is means quiet, and Igno. Okay, we want to install Igno, run it. Igno package is installed. Now, next thing is to install this python-env. Why we need this module? Because this module is needed when you want to load the API keys of LLM models which are there in .env file. So for my today's tutorial, the LLM which I'm going to use is OpenAI's this LLM. And to use OpenAI LLM, you need the OpenAI API key, and I'm going to save that OpenAI's API key in .env file. And to get to load the OpenAI API key which is there in the .env file, you need this module. So that's why we are installing it. Run this cell. Now, once you install this package, next task is to upload the .env file in which your OpenAI's API key is. So right click, file upload, and this is the .env file where my OpenAI API key is. And here you can see that when I'll open this file, you will see this kind of data. So this is the variable, and inside this variable, this is our OpenAI API key. This key will not work for you. You have to create your own API key. Right? So we have this package installed. We have this .env file over here. Now the next task is to load the OpenAI API key in this Colab notebook. We will first mount the drive. Okay, why we want to mount the drive? Because the files, these files, where this file is in drive. Okay, and the code which we are writing is over here, Google Colab notebook. And if you want to access the files of your Google Drive, then you need to mount the drive inside the Google Colab notebook. Then only you can use the files which are there in your drive. So let's mount the drive. So this is how you mount the drive. First you import this drive, and then you write like you want to mount the drive which is there. Okay, so this will ask you to give permissions to connect to drive. So connect to drive, then select the email ID, and then click on continue, and then again on continue. And now your drive is mounted. Now you can use all the files which are there in your drive. Okay, see, mounted at this. Now we will do cd to this. So cd to this means we will come in this folder and then we'll work over here. So enter. Now we are inside my drive folder, this my drive folder. Okay, we are inside it. Now we are going to write our code. Now the next step is to load the OpenAI API key, right, which is present in this .env file. So this is how you do that. First you import the load_.env module from where we are using it. Remember, we have installed this python-env package. So From that .env package, we are importing this load underscore .env. Then we are providing the path of our .env file. So our file is present at this location. In my drive, we have Agentic AI tutorials folder. Inside that, we have this file. See, inside this folder, we have this file. So we have given the path and then enter, run this cell. Once this cell is executed, now you can access any of the OpenAI LLM. Next, let's create an agent and we will pass the LLM, OpenAI LLM to it. So for that, you will write this. To create an agent, you will import agent from this package, and then you just need this package to create an agent. This one over here is to use the OpenAI LLM, and this is how you create an agent, then pass the model to it. So which model we are passing? We are passing GPT-4o model of OpenAI's, and description of this agent is this. Markdown true simply means, let me close it. Markdown true means we want to see the output on the screen in a formatted way. Okay, so we have created the agent. Now we will ask the question to this agent, and let's see if this agent is able to reply. So create next cell and agent dot print response. So our agent is in this variable, so that's why I've written like this, print response, and this is the question which I'm asking to the agent. Summarize the story of Lion King, stream true. Okay, and run it. Now our agent should use this LLM and it should give us the summary. See, this is a question and this is the summary of it. Okay, so this is how you can create simple agent in EGNOU. Now the next task is to use tools. We will use predefined tools and custom tools. First guys, let's understand what are tools, why we need tools. So tools are basically Python functions. Why we need tool? So tools provide some extra functionality to the agents. So let's say you are using some LLM. So let's say, let's talk about this agent only. So this agent is using right now one LLM, but there are some tasks which the LLM can't do. So for those tasks, you can create tools, right? And you can use those tools, you can use those functionalities to make your agent more intelligent, right? So that's what we are going to do now. First, we will see what are predefined tools, what kind of predefined tools are there. Now, what are predefined tools means? Predefined tool means the functions are already written. You just need to import them and use them. So if you'll go to EGNOU's website over here, see, this is the EGNOU's documentation. Under this concepts, if you'll see this tools, click on it and click on this overview. And if you'll scroll down this page and available toolkits, click on it, and here you can see the different tools, predefined tools which are already there. You just need to import them and then use them. So for search functionality, you can use archive tool. Basically, let's say if you are working on some research paper, you are making some agent which related to some research papers, so you can use this tool. In the same way, DuckDuckGo search tool is there, so Google search tool is there. So inside this search, you will see all the search tools. Then inside this social, you will see all the predefined tools which are available for social. And inside web scraping, you can see the tools related to that. Inside data, you will see the related tools. Like this, there are almost 80 tools which they have mentioned. Let's go to the overview and see. See, over here, they have mentioned 80 plus pre-built toolkits. So these are the pre-built toolkits, means the code is already there. You just need to import them and use them. And go to toolkits again. Let's open this DuckDuckGo search. See, if you want to use this predefined tool, what you need to do, you first need to install this package. This is the prerequisite for it. And then you can use this tool like this. See, first we are importing the package, and then we are calling the package and we are asking the question to it, and then this tool will search the web and will give us the output, right? So here we are not writing any code. We are not writing the code for this particular tool, right? So this is what predefined tools are. Code are already available. You just import them and use them. And custom tools means you write the Python function yourself and then you call them. So let's see all this concept, all these things practically. So first I'm showing you how to use predefined tools. So let's say for our today's example, let's go over here only, go to here and then this. Let's say we want to use this Google search tool. Okay, click on it. And to use this tool, we first need to install these packages. Which package? Google search Python package and Python PyCountry package. Just copy this from here. We want to use this Google search. Okay. So write it over here and install it. See, now both the packages are installed. Now we will import these to this tool, Google search tool, and we will use it. Here in this cell, first I'm importing agent. Why we are importing agent? Because we will create an agent and that agent will use the tool. Okay, inside that agent we will use the tool. So we need to create an agent and this is how you create an agent. After that, this line means every agent will use one LLM. Okay, so which LLM we want to use? OpenAI's LLM we want to use. So that's why we imported this package. And then this third line, this means we want to use this predefined tool which is available in this package. So we are importing this tool, right? Now we are creating an agent. This is how you create an agent. Provide one LLM to the model, agent. And then here we are providing the tool. Let's understand this part now. Which tool we want to use? Google search tool, which we have imported over here. And then there are two parameters over here. What does this mean? Stop after tool call tools. That means agent will stop once the tool is called. That way you'll get a good output. Okay. So agent will be stopped once the tool is called. And show result tool means agent will show the response, the output of this Google search on the screen. And this is what this tool is. And after that, you will see this show tool calls equals to true. This simply means agent will show which tool is getting used. So right now we are only using one tool, but later when you're working with multiple tools, so this part will be very helpful in debugging because this will show which tool is getting called. Okay, so this is how you create an agent, you provide the model to it, you assign tools to it, and now our agent is ready. Now we will ask the question to agent and we will see if agent is using this Google search tool to search the Google for the output. So this is what I'm asking, agent.print response. This is the question. What are the trending AI tools in 2025? Markdown true. Let's run it. Okay, just write stream true. So this is our question. See, tool calls. Which tool is getting called? Google search tool. And what is the query to that? This. So this tool call part, this part you are seeing because we have written this line over here. And then this is the response tool gave us. Okay, so you can see right now this output is not very clean, but you can write some extra code to see the output in a cleaned way. So here we are using a predefined tool. Let's use one more tool. Let's go over here and let's try some other tool. Let's say web scraping, data local. Okay, let's try to use one tool from here. So there is one tool with the name of Python tool. Using this tool, you can, let's click on it. See, using this tool, you can make your agent write and run Python code. So let's try to run this tool. So you will write this code. First, you need to create an agent because inside agent, we are going to use that tool. And then we are importing the Python tools. See, this is a predefined tool again. So code is already there. You just need to import it. Python tool from here. And then creating an agent, passing this tool to the agent. Which tool? Python tool. Show tool calls, this I have already told you, this will show that agent is using which tool. Okay, and our agent is ready now. Let's ask a question to agent. So this is my question. What is my question? Write a function to reverse a string without using slicing. So I'll give this question to the agent. Agent will use Python tool and it will create a Python code for it. So let's run it. See, when I executed this code, see the first line, setting default model to OpenAI chat. Why the default model is getting used? Because inside agent, I haven't defined the model LLM manually. So it will use the default model, and the default model is OpenAI chat. And then thinking, this is my message. Okay. And then this is the code. See, so output is stored at this location, content drive my drive. So in my drive, right now we are in agentic AI folder. Now we are in my drive. This is the file reverse string.py. Now let's open it. See, this is the code. And this is how we can use this function. So it created one function, and this is how it is showing us. This is how you can use it, right? So this is how you can use predefined tools. Now let's see how to work with custom tools. Custom tools are those tools, custom tools are those functionalities, those functions which are not already created. Means suppose you're working on some use case and you need to perform some functionality, and that functionality is not present in the predefined tool. Then what will you do? You will write your own code, you will write your own Python function, and then you will use that Python function with your agent as a tool. So let's see how to do that. So we'll start with the basic example. First, we will create a very basic custom tool. So what we'll do? We will create a Python function which will show today's date. Okay. Then we will use that Python function with our agent as a tool. So let's do that. So this is the code. See, we want to show today's date. So for that, we have this module, datetime module. We are importing it. And then we need to create an agent, because inside the agent we'll call the tool, right? And this is my Python function. So this is the custom tool. Custom tool simply means your Python function. And you can see the syntax. This is how we create functions in Python, right? The function name is this. And I have a variable inside this function, and I'm just calling this module. Datetime.now will give you the current datetime. And this is just for formatting so that you can see the output in a better way. Return today, it will return you the today's date. And guys, before making it a tool, let's call this function as it is. Let's see if this function is correct and run. See, today is July 22, 2025. So this function is working correctly. Now we can create an agent and we can call this function inside it as a tool. See, agent, we have created an agent. We have mentioned tool like this, and this is how you pass your custom tools. See, tools equals to, then in square brackets, you will write the function name. This will be a custom tool now. Show tool calls true simply means that agent will show which tool is getting used. Markdown true will show you the output. And now I'm asking this question to the model, agent dot print response. What is today's date? Stream true. Now agent will use the tool and it will show us the output. Again, I haven't defined the LLM over here, so it is using the by default LLM, and this is my question and this is the response of the agent. So guys, this is how you create custom tools. Now let's create another custom tool. This time we will create a tool which will get the data from Wikipedia and then it will summarize it. Okay, so for that we will use Wikipedia REST API. We will create one function. That function, the input to that function will be the topic of any topic, let's say machine learning, AI, anything. When you'll provide the input to that function will use the REST API to search the Wikipedia and then it will summarize the content. This is what we are going to do. So let's do that. So this is the code. First, we are importing HTTPX module. This is the only module we need for this custom function. And the other module is to create an agent, right? This is how we create an agent. And then this is my custom function, custom tool. So this is a Python function only. We created one function with the name of Wikipedia search, search Wikipedia. And then this is the, let's say right now, this is the input to this function and URL. So this here we are using REST API and we are formatting the URL over here in the format in the format of the Wikipedia page, right? So see, like this topic dot replace, the topic over here will be replaced by the topic which user will mention. And then HTTPX, we are using HTTPX.get. We will provide this URL to it and we will fetch the, we will make the HTTP request and we will get the data. And then the response is getting, this response is getting stored in JSON format. And then we are getting the title and the summary of it. Okay, so this is my function. So let's run this function. Now in next cell, we will create an agent. Then we will provide this function as a tool, custom tool to that agent. And let's see if our agent can use this search Wikipedia function as a custom tool and it can provide us the output. So let's create another cell. Here is the code. Agent, we are creating an agent. And tools, here we are providing the tool in square brackets. You just need to write the Python function name. So our function name is search Wikipedia. We mentioned that. Show tool calls true means agent will show the tool which is getting used. Markdown true will show you the output. And then we are using this agent.print responses. I have mentioned this is the question to the agent. Explain quantum computing in simple words. Stream true. Let's run it. When we will run it, the OpenAI default model is getting used. This is my question. Inside this tool calls, you can see the name of the tool, this Python function, and the topic is quantum computing. It picked the quantum computing from this, and now it gave us the summary. So guys, this is how you can work with custom tools. This is how you can create custom tools, and I've shown you how to use it with agents. Now we know about tools. We know what are predefined tools and custom tools. We know how to create an agent. Next thing is to work with memory. See, the concept of memory is very important because if your agent knows about the user preferences, user's name, and whatever important information user shared in the previous chats, then your agent can reply in a more better way, smart way, and your apps will be more useful, right? So that's why we need the concept of memory, so that our agent can store the chat history. It can use the chat history to reply the user in a best way. Our agent can also know about the preferences of the user and all, right? So let's see the concept of memory. So for that, let's go to the IGNOU documentation again. This time you will inside this concepts, just go to memory here. And when you click on memory, you will see that there are 3 different type of memory which IGNOU use. Let's understand all these types one by one. Okay, so right now I'm just giving you a basic idea and then I'll show you the practical implementation. Over there we will discuss it in more detail. So this session storage, what it does, it stores the chat history, the interaction which is going on between user and the agent. That whole conversation is going to be stored with the help of this. Okay, so that's it. This will store the chat history. Okay, and then we have another memory which is called user memory. User memory simply means whatever agent has learned about user, all those things will be stored in user memories. Okay, whatever agent learned about user, all their data will be stored over here. This session storage will store both the messages, users messages and the agent messages, right, as a chat history. But user memory simply means agent will store only those things which are related to user, like the name of the user, the preferences of the user, the important things which user shared in the previous messages. Everything about the user is going to be stored over here. Okay, now let's see practically how these memories are getting used. So first we are importing all the required packages. We need this package because we want to create an agent. And then these two lines, guys, these two lines are for user memories. Remember here I've told you what we are doing in user memory. Agent will store whatever agent learned about the user. So for that we are using these two packages. Now let's understand them. See, this memory, what will happen that after every message which user will type, agent will, this memory will extract the important information about the user. Okay, and then that extracted information will be stored in SQLite memory DB. Now what is the SQLite memory DB? You have heard about SQLite. SQLite is a lightweight and open source database, right? So we are using SQLite to store whatever this memory extracted about the user. Okay, so we will create one database. Inside that database we will have a separate table which will store the user's memory, whatever agent learned about user, that data will be stored in this SQLite using this. Okay, so these two packages are for that. Then we have this package. This package will store the chat history of user, the interaction between the agent and the user, that is going to be stored in SQLite using this package. Okay, now let's see how to do that. So the first thing is this. See what I'm doing. DB file. In a temp folder, I want to create one database with this name. The name is agent_storage.db. Okay, we will create one database with this name. Inside this database, we will have separate tables for user memories and for chat history. Okay, and the user ID, right now I've mentioned user 001. Let's say it's Arohi. Let's write it Arohi. So the user ID simply means whenever, see, let's say user ID Arohi. I had a conversation with the chatbot today, and tomorrow when I'm returning again and I want to continue the conversation, if user ID Arohi is mentioned, then your agent will know, okay, this is the user ID Arohi only. Yesterday this user talked to me and this is the previous conversation. Then it will start the conversation from there only. It will know about the user's previous messages and it can fetch important information from there, and then it can talk to Arohi in a more better way, right? So that's why we need a user ID. Then we have this memory package. Why we need this memory package? For storing the user's memory, whatever agent learned about user, right? So where we want to create this memory? See, SQLite memory DB. Using this, I want to create a table with the name of user_memories. Where I want to create the table? I want to create the table inside this database. All right. This database will have this table, user memory table, where we will store the important facts, name, and all the other important information about the users. Okay. Now let's create an agent, and that agent will use this memory. See, this is my agent. This is how you create an agent. First, we are providing the LLM to it. So I want to use GPT-4o LLM. Then this is just a description for the agent. You are an AI. You are an AI with memory. And then here in memory, we are providing this memory, the memory which we defined right now. What we have mentioned over here, that use the user memories table inside this dataset, agent_storage database, to store the user memory. So after every message which user will type, what will happen? The memory will extract the important information and it will store in the user memory table. Okay. And then this is another type of memory we are using over here. What is the task of this memory? This, see, first let's understand this line. SQLite storage. So this SQLite storage, what I've told you a few minutes back, why we are using it? it will store the chat history between chat history, right? Whatever user and agent is talking. So that we want to store inside this table. I want another table with the name of agent underscore sessions inside this database only, and there I want to store the chat history. And then enable user memory true means we want to save the user memory. And then these two lines are related. What these two line means, add history to messages true means whenever agent will every time the context to the agent will be the last 3 messages of the user. Why last 3? Min number of history runs is 3, means 3 messages. If this is true, and here we have mentioned the number, so that means these many last 3 or 4 or 5, whatever you mention here, will become the context to the agent. Okay, so every time agent will get some context, and whether you want to give last 3 messages of the user as a context or 4 messages as a context, that you define over here. Okay, this is the session ID marked down true, and now we have prepared our agent with memory. So this is for user memory, and this is for the memory which your agent will use to store the conversation between the agent and the user. Now our agent is ready. We just need to ask the question to it. You can write this. See, agent.print response. What I'm writing here, I love South Indian food. What is your favorite cuisine? So, and I'm giving user ID also. Remember the user ID which we have defined over here. What will happen with this user ID? Agent will know if which user is this, and as per that it will see the user memory table, and it will fetch whatever is there related to that user in the user memory table. Okay, so let's run this part. See, this is my question. I love South Indian food. What's your favorite cuisine? And okay, agent reply we are not seeing over here, so you just need to write stream equals to true over here and then rerun it again. This time you will see the output. This is my message, and this is what our agent replied. I remember that you love South Indian food. While I don't have any personal preferences, it is replying about this second part of the question. Okay. Now let's ask the agent again, what did I say? And let's see if agent can reply back that you said that you love South Indian food. Okay. So just write this. See, user memories. How we are getting the user memory? Whenever you want to fetch the user memory of any user, what will you do? From memory module, get user memory, and then you define the user ID. What it means is, what this line means is, I need a user memory of Arohi user. Then we are printing it on the screen. Now let's see what we get. See, memory. What is the memory stored in user memory table about Arohi user? User loves South Indian food, and this is the topic. Okay, let's try to write this line. See, what I'm writing is, what did I just say? I love, and also I love hill stations. Here I added one more thing. Now our agent should remember both the things, that I love hill stations and I love eating South Indian foods. So first let's print it. You said you love South Indian food, and you also mentioned that you have love for hill stations. Now I will ask this part again. I'm asking again to print the user's memory. Now let's print the user's memory again. So memory, I want to get the user memory of Arohi user, and then here I'm printing it. Let's run it. So now it should show both the things. User loves South Indian food and hill station. See? So this is how the concept of memory work. And guys, today we just learned how to use memory, what are the different types of memory, and we learned about tools, predefined tools and custom tools. So what we will do is the important topics of IGNOU, then we will build one project. There we will use all these concepts so that we can make a real world application. So the link of this code is given in description section. You can get this code from there. And guys, I hope this video is helpful. And if you like my content, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.